Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Between Plays. Today we're going to be watching this beautiful stock that is out there in the middle of nowhere in Stockland, and it's CloudMD, as we can see over here. They're trading on the Canadian Stock Exchange under DOC.V in the ventures, and over the counter they are DOCRF. DOCRF. Okay, so let's get into this. So CloudMD, CEO is Dr. Essam Hamza. And if you go to playlist section or click on the screen, you'll see it'll be popping up here now. Go look at the interviews of Dr. Hamza. I mean, listen, he doesn't try to sell CloudMD. He's just trying to explain CloudMD, and he's explaining the whole telehealth sector and how huge it is. So let's start by looking at CloudMD themselves. So CloudMD is in the telehealth sector, as mentioned, and they have their own app. And I found that was extremely important to me because whoever's got an app, it just simplifies everything. The last time I looked about 2 weeks ago, it was 149 reviews, it was 5 stars. I looked about a week after that and it was 218 reviews and it was 5 stars. And there's also some people on there that are just on the YouTube that are stating that they used the app and they love it. And it was just simple. I downloaded the app, I've looked at it, it's super easy. You just put in your information, you put in your Medicare card number, being here in Canada, and I mean, it's streamlined. You have your appointments on there. You eventually, I believe, I don't know because I haven't used the telehealth app, but I've put everything in to see how easy it could be, and I'm sure because Dr. Hamza states that you'll be able to access, your electronic medical records and everything on there. So look, this is a company that has 2 AIs and can do triage, as well as they're in pharmacies. So let's just go and take a look about that. See it right here. So we got pharmacies here in this section, and when we see what's going on right here in CloudMD, we got participating pharmacies. So what's very important here to know is that CloudMD wants to build a footprint. Dr. Hamza wants to build a footprint in every province and in the States, because they are in the United States as well. And so they build the footprint, and then once they have boots on the ground, and then the app just it's already created. They just have to open it up for the province. And so Dr. Hamza is stating that he's planning on having all Canada by the end of the year 2020, or let's say sometime in the beginning of the next year, sometime next year. And then, of course, places in the States. And out west, he's got Save On Foods, and he's got PharmaSave. There's kiosks. So in every pharmacy, like a Jean Couture's and Pharmaprix here, you have like a little room that you can go into. And inside that little room, well, you'll have your booth inside that little room. And this is exactly how you'll be able to see a doctor. So like right over here, you go inside a room, they have everything set up. They have blood pressure cuffs, they have technology that can see into your ears. You can do a full exam. And imagine, you'll be able to do this from your house. You don't need to go there to do that. You can do it from your house. Because you're talking about like Fitbits and all this kind of stuff. I mean, you have a Fitbit, it tells you your blood pressure, your pulse, oxygen level. So, I mean, you hook everything up. You get a one-stop visit from home. I've used a telehealth, not company, but I've seen my pediatrician over video conferencing, and it was super simple. It was super easy, super simple. And eventually this is going to be the way that they're going to be doing this, because you're going to have your electronic medical files up there and everything. They're going to have to try to contact the clinic and then, can you get that for me? Because that, sort of what happening with my pediatrician is a little bit, mumble jumbled, because it's a little bit here, it's a little bit there, because they're just trying to adapt to the COVID. But CloudMD I mean, it's been around before the COVID, and everything is a one-stop shop. If you go here and let's say you need something for a UTI to a pharmacy, well, you see the doctor there, you're not among sick people or in your home, and they send the prescription over to your pharmacy. So you, like even from your home or there, you just go to your pharmacist and it's there, you pick it up. So it's amazing. CloudMD had about $11 million cash last month, so around August. And look, in September, after the Canaccord deal at $1.38, they have over $30 million. They broke even. Their financials are solid. They're looking at profits. And you got Dr. Hams at the helm. And when you look at the interviews, you can see it's absolutely insane. So let's just go and do a little bit of research here. So CloudMD basically is a cloud software services technology company, provides SaaS-based health technology solutions to medical clinics in Canada, trading at 51.9% below our estimates of the fair value. That's incredible. I mean, the future is huge on here. Earnings are forecast to grow 68.51% per year. So you're looking at like massive growth. When you go, let's see if we go here. So we know that whoever's going to be looking at the charts, they were like at 51 cents about a month ago, and now they're at like $1.63, I think, at close. And you know, you look at the return versus issue. So in 1 year, return is 243.2%. This is quite substantial. Return versus industry. So DOC, CloudMD, exceeded the Canadian healthcare industry, which returned negative 14.7% over the past year. Return versus market, DOC exceeded the Canadian market value once again. So DOC is way higher than the industry over here. Average market volatility. Now we have break even on horizon for CloudMD. That happened, it was a month ago. All right. If you look at the share price versus the fair value, we stayed at 51.9% undervalued. So we got current price of 163, but they're saying that the fair value is about $3.39. So, you know, yeah, nothing to say there. So it's at below fair market value. Let's keep on going here. Future growth. Okay, how is CloudMD Software Services forecast to perform in the next 1 to 3 years based on estimates from 3 analysts? Well, you're looking at 5 out of 6 stars, check marks actually, and it's forecast to grow at 68.5% annual earning growth. All right, look at the chart here. This is incredible. So when you go, you got the revenue forecast as the blue line, earnings. Look at the revenue versus the earnings. I mean, just here alone, we got massive growth by 2022 over here. Free cash flow. Everything's just forecast to grow. I mean, the company itself has 68.5% company versus the industry of 49.4%. This is how strong this company is. The market at 22.9%. That's how fast this company should be growing. The forecast annual revenue growth of 39.1% of the company, 12.7% industry, and market 4.9%. So earnings versus savings. DOC is forecast to become profitable over the next 3 years, which is considered faster growth than the savings rate of 1.7%. Earnings versus market. DOC is forecast to become profitable in the next 3 years, which is considered above average market growth. High growth earnings. DOC is expected to become profitable in the next 3 years. Revenue versus market. DOC's revenue at 39.1 per year is forecast to grow faster than the Canadian market of 4.9% per year. High growth revenue. DOC's revenue 39.1% per year is forecast to grow faster than 20% per year. The charts are just growing up, and you know, why is that? So this is the past, which is normal, and here we have financial position analysis. I mean, CloudMD has 15.84 million in short-term assets versus 3.23 million in liabilities. And in the long-term section in assets, we have 18.8 million in assets versus 4.73 million in liabilities. So it's DOC's short-term assets exceeds its short-term liabilities, and its short-term assets exceeds its long-term liabilities. So debt to equity history and analysis, just look at that growth in 2020. Like the equity of 25.6, it's just insane. Debt level, debt to equity ratio is considered satisfactory. Reducing debt. DOC has negative shareholders equity 5 years ago, but is now positive and has therefore improved. So, stable cash runway. DOC has sufficient cash runway for more than 3 years based on its free cash flow. And we're talking about growth. So they already have this cash flow here. So this is pretty interesting when it comes to that. So let's see what we got for inside shareholders. Look at this. Shares sold. We got nothing here, but shares bought. From the last 0 to 3 months, shares bought was 80,000 shares, about $49,000. 3 to 6 months, 75,000 shares of 39,000, and 6 to 9 months was about $24,000, 56,000. These are shares bought by individuals. This is inside buying. So this is inside buyers. DOC insiders have bought more shares than they have sold in the past 3 months. There's no shares being sold in the last 3 months. It's all people buying. General public holds 81%. Individual insiders hold 17%. So institutions 1.3%. Definitely the institutions will be growing. That's for sure. Right now, as a whole, the general public has a good say in this if, naturally everybody was together. So it looks like this is, everybody's in this long term. What I've noticed is that when the NASDAQ was really going down hard, I didn't notice that there was much volatility. Actually, it was hardly much volatility in it. I mean, it was moving between 160 to 167 and within that range. With the pressure of the NASDAQ and the Dow going down and up. So it seemed it was very stable. I mean, there was no worry inside there whatsoever. So lots of support. Over here, let's look at this. According to Market Beat, over here, in the headline sections over here. According to MSN, this is all-in-one PDF software is essential for any entrepreneur. They're featured inside this workflow software. Market exists stunning growth potentials. This is according to Market Watch. CloudMD traces high on upside bought deal public offering. This is with the Canaccord equity firm here. This is just these are from trusted sources. Benzinga, CloudMD announces 13 million public offerings. There's American Banking News. It's got great, and I'm just using the trusted sources here. If I just go to all sources, I mean, definitely we're going to be picking up more. There's a lot more added inside there after that. So let's look at, which is really, really important here. It's the telehealth sector alone, all right? Telehealth sector alone, when you look at it, global telehealth market for 2024, what we have here is we have a market growth that will accelerate in the compounded annual growth rate of over 25%. The year-over-year growth rate for 2020 is estimated at 24.11%. Incremental growth of 95.72 billion by 2024. Right now, the market, according to this global telehealth market here, Technavio says that the market is fragmented. So there's a lot of room to go and just pick everything up. 38% of the growth will originate from Europe on this one over here, but we have stuff here for the United States, North America. And one of the key drivers for this market will be increased demand for remote patient monitoring. And we were talking about, Dr. Hamza was talking about that inside one of his interviews, the sections that he's going for. What we do over here is if we go into this here, this one's what the North America. 40% of the growth will originate from North America over here from Technavio. One of the key drivers for this market will be growing burden of chronic diseases, something that Dr. Hamza talks about. I mean, you got to go look at the videos. It's going to give you just everything what this company is about. Dr. Hamza and these videos I have in the playlist that you should click on. It just, he doesn't, like I say, doesn't try to sell his company. It's just like it's a no-brainer almost. It's so simple. I mean, you have a telehealth industry that is growing. I mean, in 2018 in the US it was like at 21.2 billion. If we come here, all right, so I'm just trying to get another graph here. Look at this one right here. This one's pretty interesting. Market value of the telemedicine market. This is the one I was looking for to end this off, all right? We have telemedicine market, global market insights over here, all right? 2019, greater than 45 billion, all right? Compound annual growth rate from 2020 to 2026 of 19.3%. We have a whole bunch of other numbers that are similar, and actually even there's added on more percentage onto some of these. Market value by 2026, greater than 176 billion in the telehealth area. How many different companies do we have out there now? I mean, that are pretty big. We got Teladoc, Livongo, we have CloudMD, we have Well. But when I look at all the videos of CloudMD, of Dr. Hamza, and I look at the technology they have, the way he thinks, his knowledge of the markets, Canadian market, how we think about, having, cash flow and strong, financials, balance sheet, statement of retained earnings, income statements, cash flow statement. He understands that we're like, all about that mostly. And with the Americans, like, they really believe on, like, debt financing and growing and exponentially growing, so that the value of everything just expands and grows. He totally gets that, and he wants to take this company, like he states in his videos, from where it is now onto the TSX and onto the NASDAQ, and he wants to grow from $1 million valuations to $1 billion valuation. So this is massive growth for any potential investor that gets in early. Yeah, so if you look at all of that stuff, I mean, CloudMD right now, right over here, CloudMD at this moment has a market cap of 189 million, and this is updated on September the 13th at 6:34, and they're at $1.63 at the moment. I mean, it's just time to get in. I mean, he's got two AIs that can triage a person. I could never give it justice. So naturally, do your research. Watch all the videos of Dr. Hamza. I mean, he talks about that they even wanted him out in China and to grow the telehealth over there because they're so behind on this section. But he had to like focus on the, on North America, just because, as he states, this was supposed to be a marathon. So the telehealth industry is supposed to grow slowly, as these numbers suggest. But with the COVID, it became a sprint within a marathon, because everybody has no choice now but to come and, pick this area up, because let's say there's a second wave that's going to happen, which is hard to say that there won't be a second wave. I mean, more people are just going to be at home and they're going to be using the telehealth. And I'll tell you, I'm not going back to a clinic if I don't have to, or a hospital. It's not happening. I mean, we've been seeing our pediatrician over whatever platform that we're using with her, Messenger, FaceTime, whatever. But once CloudMD opens up Quebec, I mean, I'll be definitely talking to my pediatrician, my family doctor, and saying I'm definitely going to be transferring over. They're going to have all my electronic medical records in one place. It can be accessed anywhere in the world. I can see a doctor whenever I want. My wife can see a doctor whenever she wants. My kids can see, a pediatrician doctor. There's all kinds of specialists that are on there. It's going to be a one-stop shop. I mean, he's taking care of chronic care illnesses. So I'm not going back to a clinic amongst a whole bunch of other people that are coughing and more sick than I am because I need a doctor's note. I could just be boop, on my app, speak to a doctor and say, hey, listen, I was really sick, yesterday, and today I'm not feeling too good, and I'm definitely going to need a medical note and whatever. And next thing you know, it's yeah, okay, print it out. Oh, did you get a prescription for that? We have something that can take care of that. Okay, go to your pharmacy. While I'm drinking coffee? Why would I want to go do that to myself or to my kids? Subject them to a whole bunch of other people that are sick. This is the future. There's no way I'm going back. And anyone that's used telemedicine even one time, they'll be sold. They'll be sold. This increases quality of life for doctors. They don't have to be waiting all day long amongst a whole bunch of sick people too. They can be anywhere in the world, giving someone verifying someone's illnesses or sending right over, like we've done for my son and my daughter. And of course, with success, absolute success. Myself too, wasn't feeling too good, whatever, call a doctor. Never moved from the room. So quality of life for doctors, through the roof. Quality of life for patients that can just, have an appointment set up. Oh, okay, tomorrow at 6 o'clock, I got an appointment with my doctor. Okay, that's perfect. So I can live my life at home, do what I need to do. And then all of a sudden, boom, there's a little sound that goes off and I'm seeing the doctor and I just, I don't know, washed the dishes, I made food for the kids, whatever it is, or I was doing a lot of bench pressing, yeah. So, things like that, right? So it's just simple. It's absolutely too easy to use. And the healthcare system cannot continue with the old brick and mortar platform. They just debt over debt. They're in a hole. They need a way out. And this saves them a ton of money. A ton of money. We won't have emergency rooms full of sick people just because somebody has the sniffles and stuff like that. It's a no-brainer. Anyways, stay tuned for our next episode, which is going to be on Snowflake and, of course, JFrog. We have 2 IPOs coming out this Wednesday on the 26th. Sorry, I want to correct that. It's on the 16th. So Wednesday, the 16th, we have 2 IPOs coming out, JFrog and Snowflake. So this Wednesday, September 16th, 2020. So stay tuned for those. Have a great day.